innovations of Silicon Valley, the original thinking coming out of our colleges and universities, the skill of our farmers, the creative imagination of Hollywood, the internet, and the grit and determination of small businesses everywhere all give hope to an even more abundant future up ahead. And so do our teachers, our nurses, our firefighters, our police and correctional officers, our engineers, and all manner of public servants who faithfully carry out our common undertakings. This is a time to honestly assess our financial condition and to make the tough choices. And as we do, we will put our public accounts in order, and investments in the private sector will accelerate, and our economy will produce new jobs just as it has after each of the other 10 recessions since World War II. As Californians, we can be proud that our state leads the rest of the country in our commitment to new forms of energy and energy efficiency. I set a goal of 20,000 megawatts of renewable energy by 2020, and I intend to meet it by the appointments I make and the actions I take. There are hundreds of thousands of new jobs to be created if California regulatory authorities make sensible and bold decisions. It will also be necessary to make sure that our laws and rules focus on our most important objectives, minimizing delays and unnecessary costs. I'll meet not only with leaders of energy companies, but with executives from a broad range of California business and industry to work on common problems and the breakdowns that we've been seeing. We're going to break the barriers that have been holding us back. We live, after all, in the 8th largest economy in the world. Over the last decade, California has actually outpaced the nation in the growth of our domestic product and in our productivity per capita. That means each person working in this state is working more effectively in terms of what is produced than the country and any other state. Aside from economic advance, I want to make sure that we do everything we can to ensure that our schools are places of real learning. Is dire, but after years of cutbacks, I'm determined to enhance our public schools so that our citizens of the future have the skills, the zest, and the character to keep California up among the best. One of our native sons, Josiah Royce, became for a time one of the most famous of American philosophers. He was born in 1855 in a mining camp that later became the town of Grass Valley. I mention him because his philosophy of loyalty is exactly what is called for. Loyalty to the community, to what is larger than our individual needs. We can overcome the sharp divisions that leave our politics in perpetual gridlock, but only if we reach into our heart and find that loyalty, that devotion to California above and beyond our narrow perspectives. I also mentioned Josiah Royce because a long time ago, my father spoke to me about him and his philosophy of loyalty. I didn't really grasp its importance, but as I look back now, I understand how this loyalty to California was my father's philosophy as well. It drove him to build our freeways, our universities, our public schools, and our state water plants. In the coming year, we'll grapple with problems of our schools, with our prisons, water supply, throughout reliability in the environment. We'll also have to look at our system of pensions and how to ensure that they're transparent and actuarially sound and fair. fair to the workers, and fair to the taxpayers. Many of these issues have confronted California one way or another for decades, certainly since the time of Governor Earl Warren. And it's sobering and enlightening to read through the inaugural addresses of past governors. I don't imagine too many of you do that. They each start these inaugural addresses on a high note of grandeur and then focus on virtually the same reoccurring issues: education, crime, budgets, water. I've thought a lot about this, and it strikes me that what we face together as Californians are not so much problems, but rather conditions, life's inherent difficulties. A problem can be solved or forgotten, but a condition always remains. It remains to elicit the best from each of us and show us how we depend on one another and how we have to work together. With realism, with confidence, with loyalty, in the deepest sense, to California, to my forebears, and to posterity, as our song says,